Oh, so this is still 9 or?
I think it's going to work out really well. Yeah. You read Amos. You had James, right? You had James, right?
Yeah, I had James.
Yeah, keep James.
Keep James.
So I read
I thought this was my last verse, but it's
Amos.
yeah, read Amos 5:21-27.
I reject your festivals, nor do I delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer up to me burnt offerings and your grain offerings, I will not accept them, and I will not even look at the peace offerings of your fatlings. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not even listen to the sound of your harps. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Did you present me with sacrifices and grain offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel? You also carried along Sikkoth, your king, and Kion, your images, the star of your gods, which you made for yourselves. Therefore I will make you go into exile beyond Damascus, says the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts.
Okay. So, there's even a song by John Foreman, who is the lead singer of Switchfoot.
I think that's right.
Yeah. And he kind of breaks it off when he does his own stuff because it's not really Switchfoot's material, but he got a song instead of a show. It said, I'm tired of your pretentious worship songs, your self-centered worship songs, basically. And your religious meetings fed up with your conferences and conventing. I want nothing to do with your religious projects, your pretending slogans and goals. God doesn't want anything to do with it if it's for your...
And who is he talking about when he said that in your song?
People in general.
Oh, people in general. Oh.
Yeah. Like say, Devin, you're singing just so you can make it onto the top 100 charts. You're singing for the wrong reasons.
Pretty lame.
I hope that's not.
And so like
Not even fake.
we can't act like we're Christians and do the other thing. Andy's talked about before. How are people gonna know we're Christians if I'm listening to Lil Wayne? How are they gonna know I'm a Christian? They're not. How are they gonna know Devin's a Christian if he's listening to Wiz Khalifa the whole time?
I do not
Or
listen to
I'll go with Drake, so you kind of like if he's listening to Drake the whole time, how's anyone gonna know Devin's a Christian? Or not. So we've got to be different from the world. We can't say we're doing one thing and do the other.
Mr. Kressel at all those Justin Bieber concerts.
Yeah, no.
Actually, Devin, I like that video you shared.
I know, thank you. Justin Bieber isn't that bad. Look on my
Justin
Facebook
Bieber
page.
is down with Jesus.
Okay, that's
He's
good.
down with Jesus.
I think he's
Maybe if
done
you
bad.
sang about him, that'd be better than all these girls.
Yeah.
Like, you're the
Tell Seth he's a cat.
He's like, I'm not going to shove it in your face, but I'm down with Jesus. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I like it.
so last verse before I just start going at it. Devin, James 4:4-6.
4 through 6. Here we go. You adulterers, don't you realize that friendship with the world makes you an enemy of God? I say it again. If you want to be a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of God. What do you think the scriptures mean when they say that the Spirit God has placed within us is filled with envy, but He gives us even more grace to stand against such evil desires? As the scriptures say, God opposes the proud, but favors the humble.
Okay. And this one, from the version I have, I think it's the message, but it says, you're cheating on God. If all you want is your own way, flirting with the world every chance you get, you end up enemies of God. I mean, I think flirting says it all. I mean, it's just like me going out to a club flirting with a girl. It's that girl, say her name is World. I'm flirting with the world. I'm not flirting with Jesus. Even though that's kind of...
Ditch that analogy, please.
No. If I'm out spending time with a girl rather than reading my Bible, then it's out at the club getting with a girl and reading my Bible. It's I'm making friends with the world rather than Jesus. And so we are meant to worship God. Everything we do should honor God, should promote and worship God. And so it goes back to what I said before, people aren't going to know we're Christians if we're doing the same thing they are. Whatever we do, it doesn't matter what it is, whether you guys are doing the play, Devin's playing his music, David's running,
She's
counters
lighting
bowling,
it up.
whatever you guys were doing, doesn't matter. I'll say, you guys you guys are in the play. If you guys are doing that to honor God, then God's gonna love you. But someone else doing the exact same thing, they're doing it for themselves and not God, it just has a total flip-flop. And so everything we do has to honor God. If it's not for God, then it's useless, it's pointless, it's dead, meaningless.
That also makes me think of something how in the Bible it says like, whatever you do like the best you can at it for God, and it's like that kind of shows up in whatever you're doing too. So if you're really
Oh yeah.
doing your best, so.
Yeah. Do everything as if you were doing it for God. I've read it twice. Do everything as you were doing it for God. You're not gonna half-butt doing something for God. If you're building a temple for God, you're not gonna make it with the cheapest materials. You're not gonna just do it maybe 10 minutes a day. You're gonna be working effortless. Effortless. You're gonna be going at it 100%, trying to make that temple as best as you can. You're gonna, or even this chair, you're not gonna make this chair out of something cheap, out of something that's gonna fall apart. You're gonna make that
Your
chair.
homework.
Oh, your
Sorry guys.
And we're gonna. No, huh? No, you gotta do everything to the best of your ability. Everything must worship God. And so if you're doing everything the best you can for God and worshiping God, all that mixed together. And so like I said, it doesn't matter what you do. If you worship God, that's the whole point of it. And if you're worshiping God, if you believe what this book says, since mine's digital, if you believe what this book says, the 66 book love letter, like I said, it all comes down to love to begin with. If you believe what this says, it shouldn't matter. If you believe what this says, you should be doing that anyway. If you believe what that says, your whole life should be honoring God, because it all says it in there. Like we watched that radical video a few weeks ago. We gotta be different. We have to be the Messiah's misfits. We have to be going out, doing what we can to be different, show the world that Christ is real, that we love God, everything we do is gonna honor God. So, are you gonna throw your socks out there?
No. I'm so.
Alright, so, you guys have any questions, comments, concerns?
So what's the big connection between the C.H.A.S.M movement and living your life for God? Like
Okay.
what is the C.H.A.S.M movement?
Alright, so like I said, Christians hyperactive against secular media. We're gonna create a chasm, this gap between us and the secular world. We're not gonna listen to Lil Wayne or any of that other junk. We're not gonna listen to that. We're not gonna watch those rated R movies with those sex scenes. I don't know about you guys, but I don't wanna watch a movie with a girl flaunting around naked or people having sex in the movie. I don't wanna see that crap. I don't wanna listen to music, Lil Wayne talking about weed, sex, money. I don't wanna listen to that. It's not my kind of music. We shouldn't wanna listen to that. We must create that gap, that separation. Like I said, the definition of chasm from the Webster's Dictionary is a marked division, separation, or difference. We must create that division between us. It must be marked, it must be known.
If I could just add one thing, I think when we don't separate from that kind of music, it's kind of like you pick one or the other. Either you separate from the music, or the music will separate you from God. Ultimately, I know since, even after I got back from the mission trip, and when I completely gave my life, concerts, just those gospel concerts would enrich my faith. Just listening to lyrics, just meditating over the message from the word, and just listening to how it's affected these people's lives, and putting it into song. It's great. So definitely, you can definitely find music way better than Lil Wayne. If that's your music genre, you can find it in Christian. Yeah, they're all the Cray, Hidashi. There's all kinds of Christian music.
Techno.
Not just my Southern Gospel and contemporary.
Oh, techno. Okay, I don't have words. Not.
Christian death metal, figure that one out.
Christian country.
I've never.
Christian
People
country.
say that,
Christian heavy metal.
Like with that
I'm
kind of music, that it's
Techno.
like not, you can't have Christian music. Like
Actually,
I know you.
Funny story. Just the other day, my dad showed me this article. This dude was trying to bash contemporary Christian music, and he's going through all these artists and pointing out flaws. There were a couple of his arguments I completely avoided because they were stupid. But anyway, I googled this guy that did it, and see what let me do it. So where's it on here? It's on here.
What was his name?
His name was. See if it's still up.
Bonky.
No.
I'm joking. Bonky is awesome.
Actually, I don't think it's gonna come up.
Reinhard Bonky?
No.
Look him up.
No. He
He's a cultural.
basically has this ministry. I got him. He has this ministry where they believe some whacked out stuff. They believe hell is literally at the center of the earth. They believe that all contemporary Christian music, whether it be rock, rap, whatever,
It's
borderline
not-
country, like
Not
me,
contemporary.
like me to read it, even though I don't consider that country, but they're considered country. If it's not flat out worship, it's from the devil. And they believe that Santa Claus is the form of the devil. And so they're.
Saint Nick was a good guy.
Well,
though.
you know, some of
Gosh.
us in here believe that too.
There is actually a valid Christian back day.
I think so.
But he's been secular.
I think that Santa. I mean, but you
Well,
know,
then
Saint
the
Nick is
Easter
good.
Bunny
Oh,
is-
oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
All
well,
right,
you know what? I
let me
want
go
you to
like-
think about this
I wanna
though.
throw
What
something
has the
quick
same
at
letters as Satan?
Um,
Brings, draws the worship away from Christ.
is you have to know where you're at and what you're fighting with. Let's just be honest. Let's just throw it out there. I'm driving down my car, okay, and all you hear is
Yeah.
as I go by. Okay, nobody thinks you're listening to Christian. Nobody. Nobody in their right mind is gonna think that's Christian music. So you have to judge these things. Okay, is it inherently wrong? I don't know. Is all temporary from the devil? I don't know. But if it portrays that kind of an image, you have to watch it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Especially who you're around. Because yeah, if you saw me pulling into school and hearing that, you'd look at me like, Mr. Trussell, really? Come on.
He's got the cross on his tie. It's
That's why
like,
you have
dude.
bumper stickers.
Okay, bumper sticker.
My bumper sticker says real men love Jesus.
Which is okay, that's great. Wonderful.
God is my co-pilot. What? Let him drive.
Most people have a bumper sticker drive more aggressively.
Okay, I think we're done with this.